M3.
Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast,
M3.
the #1 resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners
M3.
to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4,
M3.
Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy, creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. And I got a special guest. We got Annette Needham right here. She's from the Waltz Auto Group from down south. And she got an amazing accent. So let's hear it, girl. Annette, how you doing?
Doing all right. Sean, how are you?
I'm doing great. So tell us where you're based out of.
We are in Live Oak, Florida, which is right on the Florida-Georgia border, right off of I-10.
Okay. And so we just connected. You were at Digital Dealer?
Correct. Yes.
Right, so let's start with there. So what did you think about Digital Dealer this year?
I got more out of it this year because it was my second year going. I thought it was a little bit smaller, but then it gave us more time. Like last year, you could barely get through the areas, and it was harder to talk to people. But definitely took some great classes and got to see a lot of the booths where last year we kind of didn't, because there was so many people, it seems. So
can let's talk about this for a second, because you just said something really interesting, that there's a different experience. And again, whether it's Digital Dealer or it's my own conference, the upcoming Internet Sales 20 Group 15 that's going to be in the the Northeast area, or it's NADA, a lot of people don't know how to do a conference, because sometimes for a lot of people, it's their first conference and they get overwhelmed. So can you just talk about that? What was it like? What was the big differences of going the second time? Because I'm assuming you learned what to do, what not to do from your first experience. Is that an accurate statement?
very, very accurate. Yeah. I think the first time I was overwhelmed. I wanted to see everything, do everything. And then because I'm super nerdy, every person that I watched the videos of, whether it was Dealer University or whatever, when I was learning, like David Villa doing the keynote address last year. And I was like, oh my God, there he is. Holy crap. It was like seeing a celebrity to me. And so it was just a lot to take in. And then you're in the classes and you're trying to absorb everything. This year, I'm like, oh, wait, I can just download the stuff that I didn't get to see, and I could relax and actually use it for networking purposes and meeting people and bringing things back to the dealership. Whereas last year, I was just like, it was great. There was stuff and people. And I didn't pack quite as much this year, because last year I'm like, I don't know what to bring. I'll just bring my whole house. So, being more prepared all around was great.
I love what you're saying. So we've been hosting conferences I've owned the company for 19 years. For 17 of the 19 years, we've been doing conferences. And the big one that we've been doing is called the IS20G conference, the Internet Sales 20 Group. So the IS20G 14 was in 2022. We're going to be doing the next one in April. And I got to tell you, a lot of times when dealers, they get nervous spending money to send, a sales rep or BDC rep or even a manager out, because of exactly what you just said. They're investing money in the flights, the hotels, the tickets to go. But they're not prepping their people, because nobody's really prepped them on what to prep their people with. And so their people go there, and to your point, it's sensory overload. It's overwhelming. And they come back and it was great. It was great. What did you learn? And then it's like, it's hard to put in there because there wasn't a strategy. So let's start with this. I'm going to ask you this question, and I'm going to give you my answer too, is give some pro tips. So for all of our listeners, that are listening or currently watching you right now live in the Millionaire Car Salesman Group, what is your conference ninja advice? So let's just say that, somebody that's never been to an automotive conference, whatever the conference is, what would you suggest from your personal experience so they get the most out of the experience?
Look at game plan beforehand, 100%. Look at what's offered, look at not only if there's going to be speakers, but also look at the vendors. What vendors really speak to you and your market that you really want to speak with, talk to. Make sure that you get to them, but don't stress if you can't get to them. They will contact you. I promise you. While you're there, they will contact you. And then a million business cards, of course, because you need to hand them out like, candy. And just take notes, but don't be so centered on taking the notes that you're really missing it and you're missing the experience. Ask questions. It's okay. Ask questions, or speak up in the things when they ask for interaction. The when they did the like roundtable stuff and all that, though, I think those were great. I didn't want to do them my first year because I was like, oh no, and I am not a shy human at all, but I just felt out of my depth. And this year I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in, let's do it. It was great to do the different breakout rooms and stuff this year. And go to the parties, even though you're going to be tired, but go to them. But remember, you are still there for the business. So don't let the blinky cups take over, even though we brought back a lot of blinky cups.
That's hilarious. So I would agree with you. And from my perspective, being in the industry for 23 years and understanding dealer principals and general managers, mindset, I would say that 100% you should be going to conferences. You should be going there to get information, education. And I'm going to say this to every dealer principal GM listening. You guys know what 20 groups are. NADA 20 groups, NCM 20 groups. These are mastermind networking groups. Well, there really isn't any 20 groups for BDC reps or for salespeople or even for just sales managers. It's usually for the executive management. So these conferences are kind of like a 20 group, but just bigger. But to get the most out of them, and again, and this might be good for you next time too, is start with what's the biggest problems that you have. Get a piece of paper, get a Google document and write out, okay, do I have problems with recruiting staffing, with CRM, with internet sales, with BDC, with showroom sales, or am I having problems with my website or SEO or SEM or digital marketing? So start with what your biggest challenges are, and then go to the conference website and look at what the topics are, look at what the speakers are, look at who the subject matter experts are, and start circling those people first. Start writing, hey, before you even ask your dealer you want to go, get a game plan of who do you want to see, what you're going to get out of it. And then when you go to your dealer, say, look, it's not like I just want to go to a conference, man, boss, look, we're having this challenge here. We're having this challenge here. They've got the guy that invented this here. They've got the person that's here. And it's not just dealers that go. There are a lot. You were just at Digital Dealer. We had the number one female, Chrissy Burton, in the country. Her and my daughter did a keynote. My point being is that you get to learn not just from vendors or subject matter experts, you get to learn from dealerships, dealer groups, internet directors, BDC director, marketing managers. So I'd say step one is identifying what your biggest challenges are and then map out who are the people that could solve it. The second thing, I agree with what you said, be prepared. Don't go there thinking this is going to be a vacation. You want to be tired. You want to go to everything, get there early and do everything. But to your point, don't beat yourself up. You're not going to be able to see everything. You're not going to be able to talk to everybody. So use the app, connect with people, give out business cards, whether they're printed or they're digital business cards, and take as many business cards as you can. But at the end of the day, what you've got to do is have what's called non-negotiables. What are you trying to get out of the conference? What I mean is this. Are you trying to find or replace new technology? Are you trying to find new strategies and new trends that would help you be progressive and lead your market? Are you trying to solve a problem? Are you trying to fix something that's broken? Or are you trying to network? Are you trying to connect with other like-minded people that you could, whether you're doing role plays together or you're sharing best practices, etc.? Or are you looking to, meet your vendors that are there in person to talk about your accounts? And so as you see that there's so many different things that you can do, as long as you clearly set what your priorities and what your interests are, then you can make sure that you could actually achieve them. And does that sound like good advice?
It is. That's perfect advice. Absolutely. And when you get the business cards, write notes about that person because you're not going to remember. by the end of it, like every night, take your swag bag and that has all your cards and all your stuff and write, this person, this, that, just little notes to trigger you when you get back that, hey, this was this person. We want to reconnect with them and be open-minded. Definitely be open-minded, because I mean, there's the industry is always changing. So you got to kind of roll with the times. And so, hey, if they're saying try it, why not? Can't hurt, right?
100%. Did you watch Chrissy Burton and Tiana's presentation?
Of course. Yes, that was one of the first ones that this year, knowing about, I was like, gotta look. And I'm like, whoop, go into it.
So what were your thoughts about their presentation and their workshop?
I really enjoyed it. We did have to leave a little bit early because we were gonna come back. We were gonna visit somebody from the dealership that was in the hospital. So it was like one of those time frame things. And we're like, yeah, we might want to get back. But I enjoyed it. I always do. I've actually downloaded it so that way I can watch. When I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm always watching something dealership related. It's like, just get in that mindset before I get there, because I live like 30 seconds from work. So yeah, it's just something I've done since I started. So
awesome. So now let's get into you. So tell us about you. You work at the Waltz Auto Group in what part of Florida?
In Live Oak.
Okay. And you work at a Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealership, correct?
Correct. Yeah, we're like 3 miles apart from each other. Okay. So but soon, hopefully, we're going to be on the same ground. We're building our new Chrysler store here. So it's going to be nice. We're excited. There's just dirt, but a power pole now. So yay.
Now you're interesting because you do multiple hats. You are a sales consultant, you are a social media, guru with the dealership, and you're also the BDC manager. So you handle the internet, you handle social media, and you sell cars, correct?
Yes, correct. Yep.
Okay. So talk to me, what is working right now for your store, like social media wise? What's really effective to generate traffic and provide opportunities for the store?
Facebook has been huge for us. We've done a couple different Facebook campaigns where we've, put the ads out or whatever. That's been super popular to drive the traffic for us. And we're just starting to do TikTok more. YouTube, we're going to have a YouTube channel. Myself and one of the other salespeople at Ford, we're creating our own little brand, but we're going to do just overall auto group things. So that way it can be shared, because digital dealer, learn the whole thing with the record it in a day, edit it in a day, like do your whole thing in one. So we're gonna get that going. We're excited. We're really excited about it.
Let's go back to Facebook real quick. So what are you specifically doing on Facebook? Are you doing Facebook Marketplace? Are you posting organically on Facebook? Are you doing Facebook ads? Are you doing Facebook groups? Are you doing all of it? What are you doing on Facebook specifically?
We do a lot of the ads on Facebook. Occasionally we've posted to the Marketplace, but that really, the ads seem to work better. And
so talk to us about the ads. Talk to us about the ads. What type of ads are you guys doing? Are you doing them on new vehicles, used vehicles, on special finance, on service parts? What ads are you guys doing, and which ones work the best?
So we work a lot with subprime, a lot. And so we do a lot of that, hey, we can get you done, or like the ad where it's almost like a mailer, but without the mailer. So we definitely do a lot of those.
And so what you're saying is you do bad credit, no credit, like special finance advertisements, like you got bad credit, no credit, we can get you approved, that type of stuff.
And it's honestly something we're really good at, because we do it so often. And being a small dealership, both of us, our managers, they have the time. They call the banks. They put in a lot of work on every deal because we have the ability to do that. So We do have that. Our
What
neighbors down the road don't have as much success, but they're larger volume. So
question for you? So do you guys do display ads, which are graphic ads, or do you do video ads, or both?
we do a lot of display, but I'm hoping to get us into the video thing. I'm even trying to teach like the green peas and stuff, hey, don't do photos. Somebody calls somebody, hey, I'm looking at this. Can you send me more info? Do a video, make it real to them. We can't shove it through the internet, but do a video, you get more response. So that's hopefully going to be implemented across the board soon. So
Yeah, awesome. So Facebook's working really good for you. Special finance ads, you're using display ads. And so what happens? Are you generating leads from it? Or are you generating phone calls from it? I'm just trying to paint a picture for
yeah,
our audience.
we do. We have where, it'll message or, they can click on it, or when they're looking at it, it'll like basically Autobot talk to us. And so it is a challenge in a way, because a lot of times, if the person's name on Facebook is, G Money, obviously you're not like, I mean, I will, because that's just me. I'll be like, hey, G Money, how you doing? But it doesn't give you all their contact information. But at least you have somebody that's actively on there, actively looking, whether it's a deal or not. But we've set a lot of appointments and we have sold from that. And then we turn around, and when we post, the whole, hey, thumbs up, here's your car picture, make sure to mention that, hey, this was based off of this. So people know we're not just lying when we say, hey, we work harder than most to get you approved. Come on in and see us.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and because we price aggressively to compete with the bigger places, and being off of I-10, it's kind of central. So we get a lot of people from not local. A lot of people travel to see us. So we try to have that out there so they know, look, no, we really will go the extra mile for you.
Okay, so now besides the Facebook ads, what else social media wise is working for you? Where when I say working, it's generating either appointments or sales. So Facebook is in. You said you're starting TikTok. Have you sold any cars from TikTok yet?
I mean, I guess kind of, sort of, because there's been some of the younger generation that they'll come in and go, hey, you're the TikTok girl. And I'm like, yes, I'm the one being an idiot on TikTok. Absolutely. And I know that Kristen's had success with, because she was doing more of like the vehicle, the educational instead of the entertainment, and I'm definitely the entertainment. So she's had several that have called and set appointments, come in and purchase because of that.
So wait a minute. So stop right there, because again, for the audience, this is fascinating because as you know, Tiana from T Got Your Keys, she sold 10 cars off of one video. Then you've got Brandon Kogoza, who is from the Jeff Wild Auto Group, that sold 110 cars off of TikTok. But he's got 115, thousand subscribers and 2 million likes and stuff like that. But I love it at your small store in Florida. You're getting appointments and shows, and you're getting traffic, and you're getting sales with two different TikTok strategies. You're the fun, silly entertainment one, as per you, and then you're the other girl there. She's doing the more educational. So both strategies work. The common denominator is TikTok. Okay, are you doing anything on IG, on Instagram, or LinkedIn, or anything like that?
With Instagram, it's there. I kind of just let Facebook feed it. It's one of those things. I haven't quite gotten it down or figured out the whole algorithm yet. And so it's not really used as much, I guess. But we're trying to, when we do our combined thing, we want to make sure that we have that and actually use it. And consistency, that's the biggest problem I think that we have. Consistency is because you have to be relevant every single day. And there's just some days I'm not feeling it. Or, there's some days there's so much going on. When you only have 6 salespeople, like, you're definitely going to be with people. So
You know what's fun? I got to hook you up with. There's actually a couple of people that are comments that are like social media stars. So Tony Cornell, she's super dope. She's really like big on Facebook. I mean, she got like 3 million like views recently, crazy. And then of course, my man Tracy Myers. You know, what I mean, like,
Yes.
yeah, you know Tracy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he was
we'll
at Digital
watch.
Dealer too, and his session was complete fire. So that's the thing that I like about like this podcast and this Facebook group is it's like-minded people. There's so
Mhm.
many people that listen to the podcast, so many people that are in the group that we just learn from each other. So I'm loving this. Now, talk to me about like outside of the social media side. Let's go to your role in internet sales. So let's go through this. Let's say, you know, because you talked about Ford. I know you have CDJR, but Ford is the number one selling product for the last 44 years. Let's say I'm looking at a Ford F-150. I submit an internet purchase request and you know to the dealership. You're the person, you're one of the people that handles those leads, correct?
Yeah, we actually we at one time it was just going to internet leads. But we found that there was just a lot of them, and our salespeople are all trained to be able to handle it. Some of them they choose not to because it's not their thing, and you know it's a whole different beast.
Yeah,
So
but it's not flag on the field. Flag. This look orange flag on the field. But let me just tell you, I say, you know why? That's like telling a person that's a lifeguard you don't like water. You need to smack. You hear the ring in there, right? Like, think, how are you? Let me just break this down because I'm passionate about this. 99% of Americans go online before they step foot into the dealership. 90% of all transactions start on search. People find their husbands, their wives, their pets, their medication, their houses, and their cars online. So when a salesperson in 2023 says that's not my thing, then you're obsolete. You're like beta. You're like you know what I mean? Like you are like those
laser disc.
yeah, no, you're VHS, you're cassette tapes. You know what I mean? You're 8-track. I'm sorry, you know what I mean?
No,
But
it's true. We're trying to ease, and it's only like 2 people. We're trying to ease them into it. We're like, all right, kiddie pool, we got floaties. Here we go. We're doing good. And just I think it's a comfortability thing. It's just one of those, they're like, but how is this happening? We're like, it just does. Just go with it. It's fine. You're fine.
we have to teach these people. It doesn't matter how old they are. Look, my uncle, he's like my dad. He's 75 years old, going to be 76 years old. You know what I mean? So he's on social media. He's got an iPad. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He's on TikTok. He's not making videos, but he's laughing his ass off to these TikTok videos. True story. So, and then my point is that from the senior citizens to the little kids that are like 4 years old, they're on social media, they're on the internet. So it makes sense that if this is your profession, that you need to do this. But here, here's my question. Annette, here's my question. From your experience being a good agent and a good rep at, at internet, what do you feel the customers of today, like in post-pandemic reality, like what is your typical customer like? What are they aggressive? Do they have attitudes? Are they mad about paying list prices? Are they trying to grind you? Are they understanding? Are they desperate? Are they scared? Talk to me from Florida, from your perspective at a Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep dealership, your typical customers, profile them for me. Tell us what they're like.
I think for the most part, they're educated, which is great. I love that. Please have knowledge. That's good, a good thing. We shouldn't look at it as a bad thing. They're definitely savvy. They've done their research. A lot of them are very like, this is it. This is all I'm going to do. What we are seeing now is like, this is where I want to be. This is all I'm going to do. And there's not that negotiation. There's not that desire to negotiate anymore. They're just like, I know what I want. I've looked on this site. I've done every calculator known to man. And they're very serious about like, nope, that's what I want for my car. That's what I want for this and that. We luckily, because we don't have the market adjustment or the addendums, we don't have to fight that battle with like, oh yeah, well, it's extra over. But when we were doing the market adjustments, when like it was hard to get any new vehicles at all, it was definitely, they were a little hostile. But it's okay. I mean, I would be too. Who wants to pay over? Like, I
Right.
don't. We all want to get the best deal. And then it's just how you handle them and how you speak to them. And you can change a person from being, gruff to being your best friend by the end of it. So
Stop.
it,
This is an educational podcast. What you're saying is beautifully uh articulated. You know what I mean? It makes a lot of sense. But help the new people, and they're listening to this right now. I promise you, there's people listening to this or watching this, and when they go to the podcast, you're going to be hearing this. That I'm like, okay, well, what do I say? How do I turn somebody around? So can you give an example? Let's say I was like like, I mean, like, 'cause, I was like, grr, and then how do you talk to me to kind of disarm me, to get me to like, trust, and believe you, and then want to buy from you? What is your advice?
After these messages, we'll be right back. Dealer Synergy is an award-winning training, consulting, CRM, recruiting, and accountability firm. We are a 13-time Dealer Choice Award winner. We have proudly served automotive dealers for 20 years and have trained over 150,000 automotive sales professionals. We've worked with over 3,700 rooftops across the country, not including our global clients in Canada, Russia, the Dominican Republic, and more. We are the most sought-after subject matter experts and pioneers of the automotive industry. Our executive team has a combined 75-plus years of automotive industry expertise at the highest level. We've literally taken dealerships from having challenges and problems, some even on the brink of bankruptcy, to becoming national success stories.
Dealer Synergy had really helped build something from the ground up. You guys have made me fall in love with what I've always loved to do. I give credit to Dealer Synergy.
I just hired 8 people, and Dealer Synergy HR really was critical in me being able to do it.
You provided the training, you helped us with our CRM.
You provided a solution for a lot of things that I was looking for.
Our people loved LA, what Karen has done for me personally. Franca, her communication back and forth. You've got a really solid group of people.
Having somebody like Sean and his company that knows automotive, so the marriage between what knowledge he possesses and the fact that he has this great video production staff, it gives you the best of both worlds. So I would certainly recommend them.
Sean comes in the dealership and he advanced us light years ahead of our competition.
Just an absolute leading edge training company.
Go to BradleyOnDemand.com and give your team access to the best automotive training in the world.
Transparency and honesty. And if you say something, follow through on it. If they say, well, I want to be at the, or I think my trade is worth this. Okay, awesome. How'd you come to that number? And I'm going to tell you how we came to this number. And can we meet in the middle with it? We've done that multiple times and it's worked out great, where they had maybe the mindset of before and not purchased in a really long time. And when we've said, here's what the market is at right now for your vehicle, this is where we're at, this is why we're offering what we're offering, they're like, oh, okay. Or they've said, well, so-and-so offered me this. Okay, and if you look, they've added this, this, and this, and they go, oh, that's where they're hiding. Yep, there you go. and just educate your customer. Help them understand it, and it's amazing. You can still make money. Everything's fine. You're going to be fine. It's the more honest you are with them and straightforward, the better off you'll be. You can, and you just tell them, like, look, if this is the best that we can do when you get to that point. And if you say, hey, it's, no big deal, we'll still shake hands and be friends. More often than not, we've seen them sign because they're like, oh, okay.
What you led with when I asked you about profiling the customer, you said that they're very educated. So think about this. If somebody's very educated, they spent, JD Power says, up to 11 hours online doing research, doing, comparisons and surfing, different VDPs and things like that. The challenge is this: if you are not truthful, Or if you don't know something and you pretend to and say the wrong thing, they're going to know. And the second that you are not transparent or honest, you're going to lose credibility with them and you're going to lose this person. They're not going to want to buy from you. Or if they do, it's going to be a miserable experience. So I commend your feedback. I agree with you. You have to be educated yourself, which means you need to be trained. You need to know your product knowledge. You need to know it inside and out. You need to know not only your product knowledge. I don't know if you're aware of this, Annette, but there was a study years ago with Google, Compete, and Polk data that basically said that 70%, so I think it's much higher, it's probably 80% now, but 70% of people that are buying are looking to buy a Ford F-150, for example, are absolutely cross-shopping your vehicles to a Ram 1500, a GMC Sierra, a Chevy Silverado or something else. So it's important now that you master your product. There's so many times to find that salespeople blow off the OEM certification. There's salespeople, there's managers. We've had people on the podcast, the manager says, hey, you don't need that shit, don't worry about it. No, you do need that. The more that you educate yourself, the more that you show your prospect that you are a subject matter expert and you are worthy of doing business with. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I'm certified in both sides of it. And I genuinely like it. I enjoy knowing it. And if there is, when you get the new vehicle in, you should be out there. You should be out there hitting buttons on it. You should be out there, be the customer for 5, 10, 15 minutes, get off the phones, get out and mess with that vehicle when it comes in. You need to know it. You can't sell something you don't know. And if you don't know and they ask you something, tell them, hey, you know what? I'm going to find out for you, and then find out and get back with them. You have to make sure that you do that follow-up and don't just make it up. And if you know other brands, it helps because sometimes they're going from a Ram to a Ford, and you can tell them, okay, well, here's your differences. Here's where you're going to have a better time similarity wise, and kind of help them make that decision, or, answer the questions when they're like, well, what's a Uconnect? Oh, okay, let me put it in terms you understand. I do that all the time, especially like Jeep and Bronco. It's too easy. I can speak Jeep or I can speak Bronco to that customer that's more familiar with the other brands. And they're like, oh, okay. You have to put it in ways that they get it and it's comfortable for them, because they don't want to seem like they're not understanding it either. So
I would say, again, you're spot on. And look at this scenario here. Here's a scenario. Can you imagine if you fell down and, God forbid, when I say you, I mean anybody, broke their leg, you rush to the hospital, you go to the emergency room, you're in pain, and the doctor, she turns around, or he turns around, or they turn around, whatever pronoun, right? They turn around and they say, oh, wow. Oh, that looks bad. Yeah, no shit. That's why I'm here at the ER. Oh, wow. Well, you know what? I didn't go to medical school. I watched Grey's Anatomy a couple times. You know what I mean?
And stayed at a Holiday Inn.
Yeah. My point being is that if you go to the hospital, especially the emergency room, you expect the nurses and the doctors that are there, they know what to do, when to do it, and how they're doing it, and why they're doing it. So you better, the analogy is this: if I'm coming to a dealership, I'm expecting the sales representative to know about the product. They should know about, my trade-in. They should know about, the other vehicles that I'm choosing, that I might be considering besides the Ford F-150. They should know about finance options, if I have credit situations or not. They need to be the doctors and nurses and surgeons, specialists about everything automotive. But instead, we've got people that are blowing off OEM training. They haven't done a road to the sales training in a decade. See, for us at Bradley and Amanda and Dealer Synergy, one of the things that's really, really important is making sure that we are empowering the sales reps, the BDC reps through the training. And again, if you're not training in a controlled environment, then you're
Mhm.
practicing with real customers. Can you imagine, you're an oncologist, you're a cancer doctor, and you've never went through medical school. You're going to turn around, it's all of a sudden, you graduated high school, and then they gave you a nice white coat and a stethoscope and says you were an oncologist, you're a cancer doctor. And the very first patient that you give, it's like, oh, chemotherapy, and you stick, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
absurd. But then why do you think so many people don't train? Why do you think so many salespeople blow off product knowledge training? They blow off raw to the sale training. They blow off objection rebuttal training. They blow off communications training. Why do you think that is?
I think honestly, it's probably what they're seeing. I mean, it's if you're from management on down, if your manager is not practicing what they preach, then how is your green pea going to know? Like, I mean, the road is important. As no shortcuts, no detours. It has to be there 100% of the time. And
So
if
wait
your
a minute, I
manager,
gotta jump in. You just said some righteous. I wish I could ding 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 a bell right here, because no, you heard what she just said, and that just is speaking the truth. If I'm a dealer principal and I'm a general manager, I'm a general sales manager, if I'm a leader in the organization and I'm never reading, I'm never training, I'm never talking to my team about, hey guys, hey ladies, you know what I mean? Hey team, I read this, I watched this, I listened to this podcast, I went here or there, then, it's not cool to train. It's not cool to learn. And if I'm not advocating that, then again, you have to lead by example. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to emphasize what you said because it's powerful. Okay, why else do you think people don't do this stuff?
It's not impressed upon them with the importance, and they're not seeing the info, which I don't know how you can't, but we're very lucky. Our managers, they will do one-on-ones all the time, not even like officially. But if you're working a deal, they'll tell like, hey, this was great, this was not. They will openly admit, like, we can all learn. I don't care if you've been in the business a million years. There's always something you can take from someone else. Learn different anything. Listen to somebody else that's working a deal. Maybe they say something a little different than you, and you can put it in your own words, put your own spin on it, and use it. And we have that where our managers are taking the OEM classes right along with us. They are out there messing with the vehicles, because if you as a salesperson go up there and you say, hey boss, they're asking about this, I don't really know. And your manager goes, I don't know either. What does that tell you? I don't have to know it. That's insane. That is insane. And if they're not saying, hey, if a deal doesn't go through and they're not getting with you afterwards and you guys aren't figuring out, like, where did I go wrong, or did I do everything right and it just wasn't going to work? Like, if they're not touching base with you on that, if you guys are not looking at that, you're not going to think that it has value, but obviously it does. I mean, it's been there for however long, forever. So
no, I'm gonna tell you, like with us, obviously I own a national training company for 19 years and we have 3,700 rooftops. So for me, it's a little bit different because my whole world is dealers training, but I could just tell you from my experience as the president of Dealer Synergy that not all of our clients train on the same things. I'll give you an example. One of the things that I am really the most proud of personally is being partners with Franklin Covey. You know what I mean? Like, this is a multi-billion-dollar publicly traded company. Dr. Stephen Covey, the late Dr. Stephen Covey, wrote that book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So me and my wife, Karen Bradley, are the only official partners in the entire automotive industry. So we actually teach the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Nobody ever asked me, but so it's my show, I'm going to ask myself. My favorite thing to teach, honestly, isn't the road to the sale. It isn't internet sales. I love teaching the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Here's a little bit of trivia. Over 70% of all Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 corporations in the United States put their teams through the 7 Habits of Highly Effective, people training, because it is about communication, leadership, work-life balance, the mindset, being able to evolve from codependency to independency to interdependency, maximizing on synergy And so my point being here is that I wish more dealers, didn't just do skill training, they did conscious training, holistic training to give, their team a full 360. Now, there's a difference between just training. Like to me, like OEM training, product knowledge training is one thing. So you have training, that's one category, training. Second category is professional development. What does professional development mean? That means working on, skills that are going to help you professionally, like public speaking. This is the thing that nobody thinks about in car sales. But what is your main skill? What do you think your main skill is?
It's speaking. That's all it is. You are on stage every single day.
Ding, 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 ding. And did you know that there's an organization called Toastmasters? Do you ever heard of Toastmasters?
I was the Toastmaster.
There you go. See, I had no idea. Guys, we did not rehearse this. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, we did not rehearse. I had no idea. So, okay, follow Toastmaster. Can you explain to everybody what Toastmasters is and why every car salesperson should do it?
It is essentially, it's public speaking. It's speeches. Because I was in theater my whole life, so like it just made sense to go that way. But yeah, to learn how to speak in public and to be good at it, and you get to give these speeches and speak in front of crowds. It's awesome. It's fun, and it helps even if you're like stage fright, I guess. I don't I've never had that problem, but it brings that out of people and get you that confidence in how you're, not just what you say and how you say it, but your body language and all that, how all of that affects what you're doing and what you're saying and how to portray it. And it's great.
So let me tell the audience, there's two big organizations in the United States. You have the Toastmasters, and then you have the National Speaker Association, and people get confused. So I'm in both. To me, the way that I explain Toastmasters is like a gym, like your regular workout gym. It's a gym for speakers. It gives you all the tools, resources, exercises, and camaraderie to help you become better at the art of speaking. Now, the NSA, the National Speakers Association, is like the professional association, like the NFL, the NBA, for paid professional speakers, for people that want to take their speaking skill and monetize it. So a lot of people start in Toastmasters and evolve into the NSA. I'm actually what's called a CSP in the NSA, and I'm in the $1 Million Speakers Group. And I try to tell car salespeople all the time, guys, like if you were a musician, right, and you were a guitarist, like you're Slash, or you were let's just say like Eddie Van Halen, or somebody great as a guitar, you've got to practice your skill of guitar if you ever want to be doing a concert at Madison Square Garden. Well, your guitar is your voice, it's your speaking skills. If you're not practicing the art of speaking, there's a whole thing of stagecraft. There's something called neurolinguistics. There's a lot of psychology. There's a lot of science that goes behind the art of speaking. And if you're able to master that, you're going to give great walk around presentations. You're going to be able to close people, persuade people, etc. So I know we don't have a ton of time left. You got to sell cars like candy bars, but do you definitely recommend Toastmasters to every salesperson out there?
Absolutely. Everybody should be doing it. It will change, if, like you said, the walk-arounds. I mean, come on, that is the most fun. I love them.
Wait a minute, let's build on this though. You know what I mean? You know how many people I hear that say, I don't want to do videos, guys and ladies, I don't want to do videos, or I don't want to do TikTok, I don't want to do YouTube, I don't do social media. You know what's going to help you change that? Toastmasters. Toastmasters will get you the experience, not just for walk-around presentations, but you will get better doing selfie videos. Okay. So I have a pop socket on my phone right here, and I could do something like this. You'll get comfortable shooting selfie videos. You'll get more comfortable doing walk around video comparisons, how-to videos, best practice videos, deliveries, all sorts of stuff. All right. So before
I have the ring on mine because I'll drop it with the pop socket.
I love it. Okay, two last things before I let you go. Now, what's your personal passion in our industry? Meaning, like, there could be something that you're good at. Like, I know people that are great with CRM, but they hate CRM, but they love, just negotiating and closing deals. What's your passion? And then the next question, it should be different, is what are you the best at? Let's start with your passion. What do you love about your automotive career? Is it the social media? Is it the videos? Is it closing? Is it like the product knowledge? What is your passion that you absolutely love about our industry?
I do love closing. I really do. Cause that's when that I was always in sports. I'm competitive. I see it as like, all right, now let's go to battle. Let's see, it's a challenge. Like, make sure I know what I'm going to do. Can I do it? And then try to figure out where I went wrong. I love getting a pencil. It's awesome. It's fun. I'm constantly like, you need a TO because I'll TO you.
That's hilarious.
And then probably where I'm the best is I'm a people-y person, and there was like their customer still. I'm like, yes, they love me. But training, because when I started, and usually the car industry is like sink or swim, you're gonna drown. I was helped when I started. And I said I would always help a green pea as long as they wanted it and as long as they put forth that effort. And so all of our green peas, I've got books, I've got handouts. I'm like, watch this video, this video, this video. You have questions? Come and shadow me. Come on. And so I think that's where I excel. And I did go to college to be a teacher, but I don't like other people's children all that much. So I was like, I can't do this. I'm going to choke slam a kid. So, yeah.
And what would you say you're the absolute best at?
I just think the customer service end of it. If I could just run around and do customer things all day long and get paid for it, I'd be really happy too. And it's just me. I connect with people well, and and I'll remember you too. That's the cool part. Like, we'll have people come in and I'm like, oh, hey, how's your wife? How's your kid? Or that's just me. That's it.
Well, listen, you're better than me, because I got to tell you, a lot of people don't know this. This is embarrassing, but this is so true. Because of who I am and what I do, like, I'm involved with like literally tens of thousands of people. So whenever I'm at NADA or I'm at Digital Dealer, like it's bad. Like, like, I have a lot of people that come up to me, and they see me every day, like on YouTube or on the Millionaire Car Salesman or on Vice TV or on Jubilee. Like, I'm all over the place. So they know me, they know my life, they know my kids. And so they'll come up to me like, oh, how's Karen? How's Xander? My 9-year-old. And I'm thinking, I know this person. I don't recall seeing these people ever. So for me, my challenge is, like, I have a lot of people that come up to me and I remember mostly none of them, because I have a bad memory, one, and two, I haven't even met these people before. They've just seen me out, and people feel that way. So for you to be able to remember people, that is a gift. And I'm going to say this to you, what you just said before about the customer service aspect. For everybody listening to this, this is a very simple thing. Car sales is a people business. It's a relationship business. If you get somebody to like you, trust you, and believe you, they're going to buy from you, especially if they're in the market. So the keys to being successful in this industry is, one, you need a personality. You know what I mean? You can still sell cars, but it helps. It gives you competitive edge if you've got a personality and if you're likable. And the second thing is, if you're able to, what you said earlier before, if you're transparent and you're honest with people, if you get them to like you, trust you, you're going to be incredibly successful. So I say, make sure that you engage with as many people as you can. Immerse yourself in the community. Now, the last question I have for you is this. What tips do you have for people on how they could do that? How can people build better relationships? How could they do more with the community? How could they become more of a people person so they could improve their automotive career?
It's get connected with whether it's your economic council or your, we do a lot with our Rotary Club, our Chamber of Commerce. Go out there, meet businesses. If there's, games, whatever, a parade in town, hey, Go talk, make those connections. You don't need anyone to hand it to you. You can physically, as a salesperson, or as you can go out there and talk to people when you're in Walmart. Always think that you're on stage because you literally are always on stage. They will start knowing you. I've been in the Dollar Tree and people are like, Annette. I'm like, hi, you. And so you're always on stage, but have your cards always on you. And then speak to people if you see that they're doing a Salvation Army thing. Hey, how can we get involved? If your dealership's not doing it, take that initiative. And if you go to the head honchos with how this can benefit the company overall, I guarantee you they're going to approve it. It's all ones and zeros. And if you can show them, we make this connection and then we have a relationship, maybe they turn around and buy all their fleet vehicles from your dealership. They're coming to you because they know you from that event, or because you were in an inflatable dinosaur suit running around.
100%. So I'm going to say this right here. Listen to me very carefully, everybody in the podcast world, in the Facebook group. Every single person that you come in contact with today and every day of your life, they need to buy a car today, or they will need to buy a car in the future, and or they know somebody that needs to buy a car today, or they know somebody that's going to need to buy a car in the future. I mean, let that shit sink in for a second. Everybody you meet needs to buy a car today, or will need to buy a car in the future. Or they know somebody that needs to buy a car today, or know somebody that needs to buy a car in the future. So the point is, everywhere is opportunities. Now, Annette, you ever see that movie where Bruce Willis and the little kid and he goes, "I see dead people"?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm going to whisper. You ready? I see prospects everywhere. Prospects. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere is ups are everywhere you go. There are opportunities to do business. All right. Yeah. So listen, I'm going to close out right now. Before I do, I want to let everybody know listening. Obviously, dealer synergy training, showroom sales training, internet sales training, BDC training, digital marketing training, referral generation, objections and rebuttals. I mean, we do training. I mean, if I could have my daughter, who do you think trained Tiana? T got your keys. Yeah, you know who. There you go. And Kalina, Sarah Bradley at RK Kia, my other daughter, she's crushing it. We could definitely help you and yours. All you got to do is reach out. So if you guys like a free strategy session, or you like a free test drive on our Bradley On Demand, it's www.bradleydemand.com. Take a look at the world's largest, like literally in any country on planet Earth, we have the largest automotive sales training platform called Bradley On Demand. All right, Annette, it's been great. I'm going to leave you the last words. What do you want to say to your people out there?
Be a star, sell a car.
You know what? I like that. My old one was like sell cars like candy bars, but be a star, sell a car. I like that better. I'm gonna hijack that, but I'm gonna give Annette credit.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. Let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.